I can control one hand. So you can make it on the past.
'This is one tower. If we deflect it like this, the tower goes nowhere. So this is the main purpose of this pre-testing and post-testing used into the high towers, high-rise towers. So we have made it practically, and then we have explained to you. This is the model. We have divided Sangeet tower into 3 towers also because to gain a maximum wind, because the surface area is increased, and also to gain maximum daylighting. Because if you use a tower of larger diameter, the wind and the sun cannot enter into the building. This is a housing project.
Only housing.
Only housing.
May I ask you one question?
Yes.
I'm not an architect. I'm a counter the moisture and just to prevent or protect building from the moisture.
Yes, sir, of course. Sir, this is the only application can be there. If we use a larger diameter building, then the wind cannot pass through such a large diameter. So we have divided the towers into
What I have seen where the C4 is that the moisture is in the wind itself.
Yeah.
So if the wind is properly blowing and it is entering into the building or inside the rooms, that will bring moisture also. So
So
how
that
to protect the building from all the rooms from the moisture?
So that is why we have used before the wind enters into the building.
From where you got this word vegetation? Your own intention, but it's from somewhere.
I must congratulate both of you.
It is a good
wonderful job.
But I heard cyber texture from James Lab, but this vegetation is
So
a
the
new word.
modern architecture has been
But Doctor, it sounds good.
It sounds good.
Or maybe
And they may be
maybe we are little outdated.
this is the recent word that is used for the green building.
Yes, it's architecture. But you can't be.
It's very nice.
Anything else?
Okay, The geodesic dome that I was talking about in the beginning was, these geodesic domes are made of steel girders, and they are placed in the building at the base. So if the sea waves by chance enters into the site, so they have to cover this geodesic dome before they enter into the building. So this will cut off the pressure of the sea wave before it destroys the tower.
And it's covered.
It is covered. It can be used for various multi-purpose outdoor functions, because it is covered and the hexagons you see are the ETFE sheets that have been used in China. These sheets are ethylene tetrafluoride ethylene sheets. These absorb the sunlight and convert into the electricity. This is the most recent material that has been used. So this was our overall project. We have tried our best to link up sustainability into this project, because in India very few architects are doing this green building projects.
But I see a definite advantage with it, that when the earthquake will come, the orbitally will vibrate at a different frequency.
Yes.
Because these are of the different height and different base width.
Yes, sir.
So
Sir, if they will vibrate, they will not collide with each
and they
other.
will not collide, and they will not add up to the momentum from one to other.
Yes, sir.
Because they will be vibrating at a different frequency.
Yes, sir.
That's the advantage I see.
Yes, sir.
That's good.
For you.
How many of you are there in the group?
Fantastic.
Sir, thanks.
3.
Great job.
One more.
And sir, this like it?
Yes, sir.
Go back.
एक मिनट बाहर निकाल।
I'll present it to you. All these books are okay.
All those books are on that screen.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Geodesic, and I request our esteemed guest of honor, architect author Sangeet Sharma, to please come up, followed by our Honorable VC, Professor A.K. Mittal, and the Dean, Department of Architecture, Architect H.C. Sharma. Sir, please.
दोनों साथ हो जाएगा सर।
आपके
हमारे वही को मैं हाथ
The presenter and the participants to our seminar today. We would like to give a special welcome to our esteemed guest of honor, architect author Sangeet Sharma, who has made his valuable time available for us to join today. We are especially honored to join CGA, the Chief Group Advisor, also our Chief Guest for the day, Honorable VC, Professor A.K. Mittal, Director NIC, and the Dean, Department of Architecture, Architect Harish Chand Sharma. Kindly welcome them by bouquets. delighted to be co-sponsoring this event. I guess before starting the seminar, I should give you a brief about the topic. Sustainability in architecture. Sustainability, putting in very simple language, has been defined as meeting the needs of present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their needs. Mental, economic, and social dimensions. Sustainable architecture is a general term that describes environmentally conscious design techniques in the field of architecture. In the broad context, sustainable architecture seeks to minimize the negative environmental impact of buildings by enhancing efficiency and moderation in the use of materials, energy, and development space. Most simply, the idea of sustainability or ecological design is to ensure that our actions and decisions today describe an energy and ecologically conscious approach to the design of the built environment. Author of 4 books in architecture, Touch of Moon, a wonderful book of poems, a photographer, a publisher of several articles and series of lectures delivered in India and abroad. You are the founder of A3 Foundation. We are confident that you, with your excellent record of achievement and expertise in sustainability, will fulfill your noble mandate with distinction for making a universal culture of sustainability prevail in India and its vicinity with the medium of your A3 Foundation. The foundation is affiliated with Sustainable Associations of Architects, Australia. To turn the floor over to Sir Sangeet Sharma, the audience is to maintain proper decorum and be prepared with the questions to be asked after the presentation. I will also like to announce that if you have any questions, please take the chits from Nandita and Upasana, 3rd year architecture. They'll note down your questions and your name, and they'll come backstage and we'll have the questions from your side, which will be attended after the seminar.
Professor Sharma, Dr. Gupta, my friends and colleagues, and my dear students. On behalf of the university and on my personal behalf, I welcome architect Sangeet Sharma, who has come all the way from Chandigarh to our Lucknow. We are really delighted that on our simple, very simple request, he agreed, despite he's a very busy person, as you would have come to know from his biodata. He's a very busy person, but his love towards students, his love towards his educational institutions has brought him here. So I'm really thankful to him that he took all the trouble and came here to deliver lecture to our students. I really, from the core of my heart, I welcome you, sir. We are just in the process of becoming a university. And I'm sure the basic difference between colleges and university is the culture of the university and the academic environment. When I say academic environment, I mean to say the research environment. Universities are known for their research work. And I'm sure workshops like this, seminars like this, deliberations like this will definitely help us in developing our university or shaping our university into a proper university. Not taking much of your time, once again I welcome all of you, and I would like Mr. Sangeet Sharma to please carry on so that I do not want to become an obstacle between you people and Mr. Sangeet Sharma. Thank you very much.
Chancellor and dignitaries, very hospitable faculty, the Dean Harishji, very amicable students, I'm delighted to be here. It's indeed a pleasure because I studied from Lucknow and it's been some years now, or as if I'm coming home. It's very nice to be here. I'm not a teacher, friends, mujhe padhana sikhana nahi aata. So I can go wrong. I'm simple practicing architect. So everybody relax. I'm not here to give you any lecture. I'm not here to teach you anything. Just going to talk to you some aspects of architecture, some journey which I have done so far. I thought कि जो painful process हमने सीखा है, मैंने सीखा है, आपको मैं कुछ एक आध घंटे में वो बता दूँ, और बता दूँ कि जो फ्यूचर जो हमारा है आर्किटेक्चर का, सिविल का, इंडस्ट्री का क्या है. So just a matter of closed interaction. So be very free, be very open, be very relaxed, be very nice. I'm absolutely thankful to Kanika Kohli, who was in my office, and it's because of her persistence I'm here. And I'm very thankful to Kirti for the fantastic words which you used for me. I just pray that I live up to my expectations. Next. This is very simple. कि आर्किटेक्चर को, हमारे प्रोफेशन को अंडरस्टैंड करने में कुछ टाइम लगता है. ये came back, we had some established office. तो ऐसा लग रहा था कि पढ़ाई के बाद कुछ मिसिंग है. ऐसा लगा कि वो चीज़ें जो हम सीखते हैं कॉलेज में, जो आप सीख रहे हैं, जो मैंने सीखा, because your profession and my profession is one. And without discouraging you, I must tell you that we are in a little serious business without being serious. Architects, by and large, make a civilization. अब अगर हम लोग कहीं जाते हैं, if you go to Rome, you and I make civilizations, not buildings. इतिहास बनाने वाले हम लोग हैं. And our job is of so much responsibility. I realized it so late. And the worst part with our profession is, there is no second chance. A musician can say कि यार आज वॉलन अच्छी नहीं बजाई, फिर से बजाते हैं. Poet can say मज़ा नहीं आया, थोड़ा सा एक अक्षर इधर करके बनाते हैं. Not in building. We cannot build in despair. There is no mood swings in architecture or civil engineering. There is no liking or disliking in engineering. There is no rewind button. First time is the best time, is the last time. आपको मैं इस बारे में इत्तला कर दूं कि वाकई में we are in a bit of serious profession. Next, Kanika. ये अक्सर ये डिबेट होती है. Come in friends, hurry up. I don't want anyone to miss this. Complement each other. We make architecture on engineering. And engineering without architecture is only a subject. किस चीज़ का डिज़ाइन करेंगे? जब उनको हम बताएंगे कि ये हमारी बिल्डिंग है, ये हमारी इमारत है. Am I clear? Is it understandable? आवाज़ आ रही है सबको? Everybody fine? Good. I want to see those smiling faces on your faces, यार. But unfortunately, architecture में 2 + 2 is never 4. We have students of civil also here? No. All architecture students? Good. सारी रात लगाकर आप लोग ड्राइंग बनाते हो, एक डिज़ाइन करते हो, और सुबह आके हमारे टीचर्स कहते हैं ये क्या बकवास बना है. अगली बार बुलवाने का आपका नतीजा नहीं है. The problem with architecture is, it is so subjective. Subjective means मेरी पसंद का. There are people who talk bad about Corbusier, Frank Lloyd Wright. क्या बकवास. You have to be at that level of Corbusier to criticize him. Nevertheless, I was coming to the subjective design. So when 2 + 2 is not 4 in architecture, whereas in engineering, you are only analytical mind. You are only calculating इतना सरिया लगेगा. In mechanical, इतनी हवा चाहिए, इतने RPMs चाहिए. But in architecture, ultimately, we have to make beautiful buildings. ये सब चीज़ें जितनी भी हैं सस्टेनेबल, ग्रीन, इको फ्रेंडली, वो क्या वर्ड यूज़ किया था किसी ने अभी? Sorry sir? Vegitecture. But a beautiful word है जी. All said and done, buildings must look beautiful. That is all yours and my profession is. We are here only for that. और अगर हमें वो नहीं करना आता, then there is something wrong in our learning. And it's a science of building. It must be built on firm ground. इसलिए बाकी चीज़ों का भी हमें ज्ञान होना चाहिए. We cannot be ignorant. Okay friends, मैं आपको ये बताता हूँ, इस हॉल के अंदर क्या चीज़ आर्किटेक्चर नहीं है? Tell me one thing. Lighting, chairs, furniture, the dimensions, the colors, the people, audio. What is not architecture? Nothing. Feel in every aspect what is there in this room. Nothing excluded. वो घरों में, बिल्डिंगों में जब पानी लीक होता है ना, तो कहते हैं कि आर्किटेक्ट को बुलाओ. अरे हमने क्या किया था उसमें? किया था. You had a vision, you designed something which was not implemented by you but under your guidance. मिस्त्री ने किया था, fine. But you are indirectly linked. You are indirectly responsible, not directly maybe, but we are responsible. Because public health का ज्ञान हमें होना चाहिए था. और अगर यहाँ पे air conditioning is too cold or too hot, there is something wrong, not with the mechanical person, because he will design as per his understanding. I am only making you first clear before I go into other buildings, the difference between engineering and architecture, because they absolutely complement each other. हम ये ना समझें कि वो कुछ और है और ये कुछ और है. But one thing very beautiful, next, one thing very beautiful in architecture is we touch the hearts, our hearts. सबसे ज़्यादा फील्ड कौन सी है जो दिल को छूती है? Anybody? हाथ उठा के. Which part of fine arts touches your heart the most? Anybody? हाथ उठा के. Tell me.
Music.
Oh no. You're very close. Try again.
Poetry.
Yes. Who said that? Fantastic. You have this book from me. It's my... Poetry touches your heart the closest. दो अक्षर की लाइन में इतना कुछ कहा जाता है. सारी बाइबल, गीता, वो कबीर के एक दोहे में सुना आपने? वो चलती चक्की देखो दिया कबीरा रोए, दो पाटन के बीच में साबित बचाना चाहिए. गीता सब ये, जिसको ये दो लाइन समझ आ गई, क्या जरूरत है पढ़ने की गीता बाइबल? It's beautiful, unimaginative that a poet can touch you so closely with the use of his beautiful words. इतनी strength होती है words के अंदर. Word is absolute energy. That's why the saints say, don't speak unnecessarily. Called Tadao Ando. Nobody. Which is the name? Okay. Tadao Ando is one of the biggest, greatest architects of today. He is a Japanese architect. उसने एक चर्च बनाया है, पानी के ऊपर एक क्रॉस बनाया है, और उसकी रिफ्लेक्शन पानी में आती है. And there are steps outside. There is no roof. Imagine. Have you heard of Ronshan? Who is the architect of Ronshan? ठीक है जी. Students, please. Students, please. It's Le Corbusier. You know why I'm saying these examples, friends? मैं चाहता हूँ कि आप और हम भी उस लेवल का काम करें When you enter into these buildings, you are forced to kneel down. You fall down in reverence, in prayer. They make you fall on your knees. That is the kind of impression the spaces which create. Divine, absolutely divine. हमारे हाथ में वो power है to create spaces which are so divine that when you enter, you kneel down and start praying. And you know, from which university did Corbusier pass? Haath utha ke, anybody? From which university has Le Corbusier qualified? Sorry? He did not study? He was uneducated, right? How do you know that? Tell me, how do you know that? It's a tukka, or you know it? Tadao Ando, जिसका मैं नाम ले रहा हूँ, is an absolutely unqualified architect. But anyway, आपने try किया, come and have this. Qualifications do not make architects. इस भ्रम में मत रहना. मास्टर्स और पीएचडी करने से अच्छा आर्किटेक्ट बिल्कुल नहीं बनता. आई एम हियर not because of my lineage, because of my work. And I'm telling you this. Nobody gives you work in architecture because you are son of so and so. No. शायद एक मिल जाएगा पहला. Unless you prove what you are, nobody gives you the second work. It is more easy to experiment on somebody's life than somebody's money. बड़े कमाल की बात है फ्रेंड्स. डॉक्टर ऑपरेशन करता है, सक्सेसफुल नहीं आता, इससे मैंने तो कोशिश की. लॉयर भी कहता है साहब मैंने तो पूरी कोशिश की, हार गए. आप क्या कहते देखो जरा मैंने कोशिश की, काट दिए जाओगे. बिकॉज यू आर प्लेइंग विद हिज मनी, यू आर प्लेइंग विद crores of rupees. You cannot but take a chance. So what do we do? Relax everybody. I'm trying to discourage you, but I'm trying to. बहुत सारी डिबेट होती है बच्चों के साथ, टीचर्स के साथ कि हमारा काम क्या है. अगर स्ट्रक्चर सिविल वालों ने करना है, एयर कंडीशनिंग मैकेनिकल वालों ने करनी है, पब्लिक हेल्थ पब्लिक वालों ने करना है, तो हमने क्या करना है? It's a normal question asked. It's also asked whether architecture is science or architecture is art. Symphony. आपने देखिए वो 1000 म्यूजिशियंस बैठे होते हैं और एक कंडक्टर ऐसे कर रहा होता है. Can you name me the one Indian world famous conductor? Anybody? अरे यार कंडक्टर थोड़ा वो, he's a composer. Yes, fantastic, Zubir Mehta, ma'am, I should give you this. You must take pride in these names, friends. ये तो हमारे, they are our country's pride. He's one of the only Western music composer of the world. मैं जरा हिल गया अपने स्ट्रीम से पीछे. Yeah. So what kind of life do architects lead? आपने कभी किसी की बायोग्राफी पढ़ी? Has anyone read anybody's biography? Yes, tell me. You have read his book? That huge thick book. Good. You know the greatest inspiration you get when you read books by famous people. Architects have not written any autobiography. उनके ऊपर बुक्स लिखी हैं, पर उन्होंने खुद अपने ऊपर बुक्स नहीं लिखी. This Architecture Life and Me is the first semi-autobiographical book which I wrote about my growing up years. And one thing is very clear. Architects are and need to be very noble people. जितना अच्छा इंसान होगा, उतनी अच्छी architecture होगी. All right? 4. Let's talk of the masters. Let's talk of the masters. No. BBD 5. 6. No. They're very young. Uttam Jain Sahab. No. Next. We already told. 6 or 7. आपको 7वां नाम नहीं आ रहा. जाओगे आप. You can try it. You want to try it? उसके दो पहलू हैं इस चीज के. Number 1, it's so difficult to reach at the top in architecture. And number 2, there is always a room at the top. खाली पड़ी है वो जगह. वो 7वां नाम शायद किसी आप में से किसी का होगा. 8वां नाम भी आपका होगा. सारी उम्र की तपस्या. Whole life you struggle. Every project is a thesis. Every client is a jury. ली कर्बूज़ियर 75 साल की उम्र में भी क्लाइंट के बाहर बैठा हुआ था, वो ड्राइंग लेके कि जब हमारा नंबर आएगा दिखाएंगे कि सर मैंने चंडीगढ़ बनाया था, मुझे काम दीजिए. This is the irony of our profession. There are a lot of professional hazards of our profession. लेकिन discourage होने की जरूरत नहीं है. If we can do it, you all can do it, and you will do much better. I'm telling you. Why our profession is difficult and to attain that 10th position is because we operate on various levels. This confusion and amalgamation of science, art, effectiveness, money, ये सारी चीजें combine करके we make architecture, and that's why it is difficult to reach at that position. Next. I just said all this. Architecture is called mother of all arts. मालूम है आपको?
Yes.
Why? Because you need to study and know all the arts. हमारा is frozen architecture. Nehru was the architect of modern India. You don't say he was a doctor of modern India. He was neither a mechanical engineer of modern India. He was an architect of modern India because he was the originator, the creator, the designer. We design, we create. So we are nearest to the God. Are you understanding, friends? You and I are the nearest to the God because we create something. We design something new. And creation is very powerful. It's the most powerful tool. Sure. When I got bored after 10 years of private practice, I began to analyze. मैंने कहा ये क्या कर रहा हूँ मैं? कुछ इसमें दम है, कुछ मजा नहीं आ रहा. What am I doing? I began to introspect. अपने अंदर झांकने की कोशिश की. And in the process, I used to speak to friends like you. I'm a very selfish man because I'm here to get inspired from you. You work faster than others. You run. You are running at a double speed mentally and psychologically because you're carrying forward a name. It is very difficult. So very difficult. I don't plan to make my children architects at all because it's a huge burden you carry. Factory owner ka beta ya beti is different thing. But when you carry a legacy of an architect, of a designer, because you have to be equally good. How can you be equally good? You are growing. How can you be right from the day when you enter into the college? हम तो जैसे पेट से सीख के आए थे. It is there in the genes, yes, no doubt about it. Because architecture, you are watching. You learn architecture through the process of your eyes. When I was in UK, I was doing my masters. हमारे प्रोफेसर थे, उन्होंने कहा, if you are an architect, you cannot even blink. आंखें बंद strike you. Everything might just assimilate in you. Any color, any combinations, any proportions, any heights, anything nice, it can attract you. या लेते हैं उनकी buildings अगर आप देखेंगे तो they have that element of courage. You need a lot of courage to make something new and different. Not different for the heck of being different. You are not doing something different because you want to be different from others. You have to be good also. You have to be correct also. In the 1960s, जब modern architecture India में थी, तो किसी ने हिम्मत की, courage किया, and he made round building. There's a lot of hue and cry. ये क्या बना दिया? आजकल तो modern का ज़माना है. But he did it, and he won so much of fame, accolades, because it was the call of the day. Next. Next. Can somebody tell me कि modern architecture के बाद वो कौन सा ism आया था? जैसे modernism है, उसके बाद क्या है? Modernism, postmodernism, then is deconstructivism. वो postmodernism क्या है मालूम है? Okay, who made postmodernism? And you name one architect who started postmodernism. Now, that it is so confusing. I think it's very cold in the auditorium and people are feeling sleepy. थोड़ा इसको कम करवाओ. That side, this side. Deconstructionism India में ज़्यादा नहीं आया sir. It's mostly started and finished in USA. Anyway. But let me tell you friends, let me tell you this very quickly before I proceed to the main buildings. They are timeless architecture. इनमें कोई ism नहीं है, fashion नहीं है, bell bottom कभी बड़ी होती थी, कभी छोटी होती थी. But I think the straight fit lives forever, isn't it? So you better be in that straight fit jacket. If you adopt a style, you better like a style which you like and then adopt it. इसमें कोई hard and fast rule नहीं है. अगर आप कहते हैं कि मुझे तो उसका स्टाइल पसंद है, हाफिज कंडक्टर का स्टाइल पसंद है, दोषी साहब का, it's all yours, it's there. But you need to like, study and follow in the spirit, not copy it. An opportunity, either you get it or you lose it. As simple as that. Okay, next. Immaterial. You learn today, you learn tomorrow. But what they teach you is simply just trying to draw out from you the capacity. आपके अंदर वो छुपी हुई capacity को बाहर निकालते हैं कि करो. फिर आप करके लाते हो, नहीं ऐसा नहीं, कुछ और करो. So they're just trying to influence you and make you bring out your best. That's why teaching architecture is so difficult, so confusing. Next. I'm sure ये तो आपने देखा ही होगा. इसका आर्किटेक्ट कौन है, बता दो जरा हाथ उठा के. Fantastic. Come on, take this. एक 120 बच्चों में से सिर्फ he knew this. These copies are signed by me. तो है तो क्या है इसके अंदर? ऐसी चीज क्या है which is the one of the world's greatest architectural marvels? Whatever structure है, this and that, computerized. इसका मार्बल बहुत सुंदर है. ठीक है, it's a new technology. Let's put a full stop at that. Have you gone inside? It is just a piece of space, empty space, and you go inside and you say, wow. And unless you make architecture which says, wow, you are not reached. You and I have not reached. That is the capacity of this simple hall. It's just a simple empty space. Deity भी नहीं है यहाँ पे, तो मंदिर भी नहीं है. वो दिए नहीं बोलते इसके अंदर. It's just an empty hall. We pay lakhs of rupees to see the pyramid, isn't it? मिट्टी का ढेर है सिर्फ वो. It's so disappointing. We go to Rome and see Colosseum. Ruins देखने जाते हैं हम लोग, लाखों रुपए देके. That is the creation of architecture. Because उसके अंदर वो है, that wow factor is there. It was built, and we pay for seeing those buildings. I can go on and on, but I have less time. Next. Next. आजकल आप लोगों के पास रोटरिंग पेन्स नहीं होते हैं ना? You're on computers. We had very bad time रोटरिंग इंक को साफ करने में. सारी वाइट शर्ट्स के ऊपर धब्बे लगे होते थे. भारत ब्लेड से स्क्रैचिंग कर रहे हैं शीटें. बड़े लकी हो आप लोग that you work on computers. We had experienced very bad times, and we were the first batch. Second batch, I think, I don't remember much. A lot of gangsters in Punjab University. हर रोज शाम को पकड़ लेते थे हम लोगों को. बड़े shoes polish करो, कपड़े धो, and all that. It's okay. So we did all those things we did in time of ragging, in time of things. It's very interesting. It's all there in my book. It's very interesting. Next. हमारा एक टीचर होता था, वो कोई ऐसे साहब थे, और उन्होंने हमारी जान निकाल दी. And I could never pass in structures. I could never understand those bending moment diagrams. आपको भी नहीं समझ आते? साला मुझे भी नहीं समझ आते. Because the way they used to approach structure was absolutely illogical. With all due respect to the teachers, sir. With all due respect to teachers. You have to approach a subject because you should know that you are teaching archi students. क्या मतलब है हमें वो सरिये वो कैलकुलेट करने का? We should know the process of it. एग्जाम पास करना जरूरी है, इसलिए रिलैक्स, you have to do it. But if we don't understand the concept of structure, how will we design the structure? How will we create our building? बड़ी मुश्किल से पास हुआ. उसके बाद when I came to profession, I spoke to Mr. Mahinda Raj. He's one of the finest structural designers alive today. Are you aware? आज अगर राज रिवाल साहब की बिल्डिंग्स हैं, मौजूद हैं, it's because of Mahinda Raj. We depend on civil engineering. Every architectural monument is an engineering feat. Remember this. We complement each other. So please adopt it. When you keep a plan in front of you, it's like a blood circulation. So just meditate for a minute or ब्लड सर्कुलेशन की तरह आपको पता लग जाएगा कि इसका डिजाइन स्ट्रक्चर पैटर्न क्या होना चाहिए. That's why I'm saying I failed in structures, but my structures can never fail. If they did, I would not be here today. You have to feel the circulation of the structure in your plans. It's not difficult. Try it. खुद ब खुद आपको सोल्यूशन मिल जाएगा कि यहाँ पे कॉलम सिस्टम होना चाहिए, ये ग्रिड सिस्टम होना चाहिए, अब ऐसे बिल्डिंग डिजाइन होगी. It's not difficult at all. Bar. Next. I'll skip this. Next. It's all there in the book. ये वो लोग हैं जिनकी बात मैं कर रहा हूँ. Absolute monks. सारी विंटर वो लीकर गुजियर ने 2 ड्रेसेस में काट दी. I'm telling you because I know it first hand. मैं झूठ नहीं बोल रहा. जॉनरी साहब का घर अगर आप देखेंगे तो थैच रूफ और बैम्बूज की लकड़ियाँ से बना हुआ है, उनका फर्नीचर भी. Next. I'll just run through in 2 minutes some slides of Chandigarh just to inspire you. Next. This is modern architecture. Modernism never died. It will never die. Modernism is here to stay. We are fortunate that modern architecture developed in India. We have 2 masters in India, Le Corbusier and who else? No. Wait, I'm saying 2 international masters who worked in India, Le Corbusier and Sir, आपको तो मालूम ही है sir. Frank Lloyd Wright never worked in India. What are you saying? It's Louis Kahn. Where has he worked? Yes, I am Ahmedabad. Please go and see these buildings. We are so fortunate कि हमारे मुल्क में 2 मास्टर्स ने काम किया और हमने वहाँ जाके देखा नहीं. We cannot do architecture until you see architecture. Traveling is your investment, not buying Louis Vuitton purses. Absolutely not. Next part, architecture करते हैं. Next. ये कौन है मालूम है? हाथ उठा के. Very good. ये ले लो. You friends. There's something missing in you. हर साल ये आते हैं चंडीगढ़, हमारे पास रहते हैं. He is 86-year-old. हर साल उसी जगह पर जाके बैठते हैं, घूमते हैं और मैं कहता हूँ सर छोड़िए अब हो गया. हर साल आप आते हैं, वही देखते हैं. क्यों आते हैं? He says, I'm so inspired. I'm so damn inspired. I want to be in the vicinity of this capital complex. Imagine, he's a master himself. And he says this. Next. This is sculpture. This is photography. वो रैम्स के अंदर जो फेलिस्ट्रेशंस हैं वो क्यों दिए हैं? हर चीज़ की एक वजह है. It's so beautiful. Next. Sculpture. Next. Arithmetic, proportions, dimensions. Next. जब हम लोग ऐसी सिटीज़ में काम करते हैं जैसे चंडीगढ़ है, अहमदाबाद है, so we are carrying forward a specific legacy और practicing architects के लिए बहुत एक challenge होता है. But anyway, I'll skip all this. Come to the part 2. You heard of these words: sustainable architecture, lead buildings, green buildings. आजकल बड़ा buzzword है, सुना है ना आप लोगों ने? The load on the electricity. And generally it should be eco-friendly. Generally it should be eco-friendly. I'll take 2 minutes and tell you, ये जो myth है जो green buildings और उसकी, I will just take 2 minutes and clarify. What's a green building? Okay, anybody wants to try? Yes, tell me. Eco-friendly is a wider word which is used. Anything else? Anybody wants to be specific?
So it is an energy efficient building that reduces the.
Yes. But what makes the lead building? Lead क्या word है? लग जाती है तब वो lead building बनती है. Lead accredited building. It's just an organization which gives you rating. जब rating मिलती है building को gold, platinum, silver, तब वो lead building बनती है. क्योंकि हमारी कंट्री में एयर कंडीशन बिल्डिंग्स कम होती हैं. That's why to counter that we made Griha, which is an Indian version of LEED. Okay. Try to make sustainable buildings. Green automatically follows. अगर हम green की तरफ भागेंगे तो buildings will not look good. Because you become mechanical. You simply become mechanical. You simply दीवार ऐसी होनी चाहिए, इसका ऐसा होना चाहिए, इतना इसमें एयर चाहिए, ये एनर्जी चाहिए. So you go on doing those things mechanical. But sustainable buildings also make you a good looking buildings. Next. Okay, next. North Point. I have gone to set an SPA as a jury member और साइट प्लान में नॉर्थ पॉइंट मार्क नहीं होता. वहाँ भी यही हाल है जो हम लोग करते हैं. Everything begins with the north point. It is if you have oriented your building correctly, क्या लीड सस्टेनेबल सब ऑटोमेटिक हो जाता है. ये ली क्रूजर की बिल्डिंगें लीड रीडिंग है क्या? ये जो मास्टर्स की बिल्डिंग्स आर नेचुरली सस्टेनेबल बिल्डिंग्स. सारी क्लाइमेटोलॉजी, इतनी मोटी किताब पढ़ते हैं हम लोग क्लाइमेटोलॉजी की, पढ़ते हैं ना जी, ये हमारे टीचर्स पढ़ाते हैं हमें, कोई बिल्कुल ज़रूरत नहीं है इसकी. 10 फुट बाय 10 फुट का एक टावर ऑफ शेडोज है इन चंडीगढ़, इन द कैपिटल कॉम्प्लेक्स. कम एंड सी दैट. Whole of the climatology is learned in that 10 feet by 10 feet room. Le Corbusier spent 1 year understanding the sun path of India. उसकी वजह से बिल्डिंग्स बनी. दीवारें बनाना हमारा पेशा नहीं, बिल्कुल गलत है. अभी I saw one beautiful design by who is the architect, who is the student who showed that? Yeah, fantastic design, absolutely fantastic design. The more thought you will get. और इसके डिजाइन में क्या बात थी? He is just trying to use the north point and orientation. यहाँ से सन लेना है, यहाँ से लाइट लेनी है, यहाँ से विंड लेनी है. यही किया ना आपने.
Yes, sir.
बाकी बिल्डिंग तो खूबसूरत बनी है, उसकी form is from the coral, this and that. It's okay. That's a part of our job because we are also sculptors. और हमारे वेरी सीनियर सिविल इंजीनियर्स जो सर हैं, उन्होंने ये भी अप्रूव कर दिया कि seismically it is also stable, so you have a credit to yourself. Heat gain, cross ventilations. Let's skip all this. We'll come to visuals next. This is my adoption of eco spaces. This is what I feel it should be: economic, conscious and optimum. अगर आप ये 3 words को याद रखते हो, तो you make eco space. In designing any room, even if it's just one small kitchen, you will realize that you're making eco space. Next. 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 This is a IT building which I designed in Mohali. It's near Chandigarh. Next. It's an IT building. Now, IT building has a problem कि उनका link US के साथ होता है. They are age. आज के ज़माने में बिल्डिंग्स बनती हैं वो गोरखपुर में देख लो, फैज़ाबाद में, न्यूयॉर्क में, बेंगलोर में, सारी सेम लगती हैं. You pick up any design of mall, it is same everywhere. There is hardly any design input because you're simply making glass boxes. It's very easy. Put how glass और लगा दो और you're done. So आपकी हमारी contribution तो उसमें है ही नहीं. So what do we do if we have to be the creators? जो मैं इतनी 1 घंटे से मैं बात कर रहा हूँ. There has to be something more to that, isn't it? You agree with me?
Yes.
Okay, let's see how this was done. Next. इसमें इस बिल्डिंग की रिक्वायरमेंट्स देखिए क्या है. ऊपर के 2 मंजिल और रूम्स कनिका आहिस्ता आहिस्ता करना, एक एक करके. It's movement. Next. Go on. Wait. As I said that all architecture begins at North Point. So this is the sun part and this is the orientation. सामने मेरे इस तरफ ईस्टर्न है और साउथ सन है और सबसे जो वर्स्ट सन होता है साउथ में आता है. So I broke the elevation that I want those. Oh, sorry, I have this. Why am I pointing like this? I create these walls to obstruct the direct light path inside, and I make these walls straight. Southwestern is the most harsh sun area. यहाँ पे I have those toilets and service core, and the more nicer orientation I have the workstations. This is glazing, this is glazing, this is glazing. I get nice light inside. Next. This is the most harshest sun here, so I give a little curve inside ताकि वो अंदर bent हो जाए and I don't get the direct light inside. Next. Harsh south, the suns, I protect it by giving walls here and glazing like this. Next. Fits. The direct heat gain is lost like this. I'm trying to invent the elevation because of the north point. Next. There we are. I don't want these lights, these sun rays which are more harsh to come inside directly. So I get this a little opening. I move my building slightly inside so that this is covered and I get smoother sun rays. Next. Same thing this side. Next. So what have I achieved? I got these lures. और ये lure में आप देख रहे हैं natural shadows and suns हो रहे हैं. So I have ये सारी अंदर ये walls हैं और ये सारी glazing है. So I have tried my best. I will not claim that I am very successful. I'm also trying as you are trying. That I got this elevation and I made those lures. So I obstructed the harshness of the sun because of this. और ये toilet blocks हैं because ये southwest हैं. So I achieved my goal. Next. Is it seen from here? देख सकते हैं? Is it okay? You can stop me and ask me any question. Time is very less. ये देखिए. The shadow pattern. Architecture is beautiful under light and shade. अगर light and shade का play नहीं है, फिर तो सिर्फ एक दीवार है. Next. Okay, next. That was the left side, this is the right side, and I gave this into a cafeteria here. Next. So these walls act as luvers. They are also structural members. Nothing is ornamental in architecture. Nothing is ornamental. There is the corbelling, cornices. So ultimately achieve this image. Next. Go on. The lower details is so difficult designing it and then constructing it. क्योंकि वो vertical उसका निकालना plumb में बड़ा मुश्किल होता है. So it's an engineering feat. And 3 cheers to that. Next. Okay. The wind direction. This is not a fixed glass. हमारे मुल्क में closed boxes बनाना is not advisable. I'm saying advisable. You may like to make it, you may not like to make it. And I'm taking advantage of the wind direction. Next. Next. This is the western area, so I recess it inside. Next. Okay. Services एक तरफ हैं, बाकी सब halls हैं. You see, wait. Okay. You see these services or your halls हैं. Next. So this is the form of a plan, and this is the backside plan. Next. Simple workstations. And इस सारे column में, sorry, size space में is supported with just 2 columns because I want columnless space. अगर column आ जाएंगे इसके अंदर, अगर इस auditorium के अंदर column होता तो क्या होता? So it is necessary that we have less columns inside to accommodate more workstations. Please stop me and ask any question. It's the only opportunity you have. You see this, सारा support इस पे किया हुआ. Next. Sorry? 80 feet. 80 foot. Next.
Which type of slab you use?
Flat slab. Flat slab क्या होता है मालूम है?
Yes.
Good. Like it. Next. 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 See this. बिल्कुल ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन फ्री सर्कुलेशन चाहिए हमें हर बिल्डिंग में. मैं ये नहीं कह रहा कि आईटी बिल्डिंग में ऑफिस होना चाहिए. हर बिल्डिंग जो हम डिज़ाइन कर रहे हैं इसके अंदर सर्कुलेशन फ्री होना चाहिए. आई एम टेलिंग यू अबाउट सस्टेनेबल डिज़ाइन एंड द प्लानिंग. आई एम कंबाइनिंग माई टॉक इन टू. नेक्स्ट. द विंड डायरेक्शंस. नेक्स्ट. गो ऑन Hanika. Next. The cafeteria. Next. अब ये जो निकाला हुआ था फॉर्म सामने, very difficult. Go on. Circulation. बस ये सर्कुलेशन है सिर्फ, बाकी सब यूजेबल है. और ये ऊपर सारे रूम्स हैं विद टॉयलेट्स. कितना डिफिकल्ट है टू टैकल दिस सर्विसेज. वो कैसे सर्विसेज नीचे आती हैं, वो कैसे करना है. वेरी डिफिकल्ट जॉब. नेक्स्ट. नेचुरल लाइट यहाँ पे आती है. नेक्स्ट. अब जब सारे रूम्स यहाँ पे हो जाएंगे तो लाइट कहाँ से आएगी? लाइट यहाँ ऊपर से दे दी मैंने. लाइट देनी ज़रूरी है. नेक्स्ट. Yeah. There's a service floor. Next. All the service floor is hung. It's like this. You hang the whole service floor. Next. And the building image. This is the rooms upar or the office space. Next. This is the service floor. Sustainable building का मतलब ये है that I am trying to save energy, save the services, don't waste pipes, and I make a building which is self-sufficient and is not a drain on electricity. This is sustainable. Next. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Fast.
So the upper 2 floors, so it is projected outwards while...
Yeah, this is the B. Next. Well, this was awarded, as I told you, awards only temporarily. Thank you. Dear friends. And this will, sir, VC साहब को ये बड़ा अच्छा लगेगा ये project. Sir, this is a 2,000 bedded hostel, boys hostel for NIT Jalandhar. Mega project, mega boys hostel. 7 acres of land. See how you treat a site plan. So North Point and phases में बनाना है, so ये मॉड्यूल बन गए, ये बीच में मेस एरिया है और ये एंट्रेंस ब्लॉक है. Next. How you phase out a large project. Next. So the first module is the phase 1. 260 rooms is phase 1. Rooms all around, toilet blocks and toilet blocks. Next. May I go on or you all want me to stop?
Please go.
Go on? Patience have it, thodi bahut aur? Good, I like that, thank you. Go on. Third. Next. See how the whole site plan is taking shape. Next. Next. इन सब के सर्विसेज सेंटर में डाल दें. वी हैव मेस एरिया हेयर, रीडिंग एरिया हेयर, एंड द टॉप पोर्शन जो सिर्फ एक स्लैब होता, इट बिकेम एन ओपन एयर थिएटर. दिस वाज अ कॉम्पिटिशन प्रोजेक्ट दैट वी वॉन. नेक्स्ट. कैफेटेरिया डॉर्मेटरीज. नेक्स्ट. Nothing goes without the North Point. Nothing ever. Next. Every module has its own green area. These beautiful elevations. Next. Just to explain you the source of light and vis-a-vis the planning part. इसको break करना है, diffuse light अंदर लेनी है. This is what I'm trying to do is कि अगर ये suppose सीधा होता तो क्या होता? I mean, if I want to justify what I did is right or wrong, is I would have more sunlight inside. That means more heat inside. That means the comfort conditions will be there. Will not be there. So I'm only trying to get some comfort conditions because we cannot provide air conditions here. It's a typical government building and NIT है और उसके हिसाब से मुझे ये सब करना है. और इंडियन कंडीशंस में अगर मैं सारी बिल्डिंग्स this structure and all these are structural elements also. आप पूछोगे कि कॉलम्स किधर हैं? ये सब कॉलम्स की तरफ जनरेट किए हुए हैं. इट्स ऑल स्ट्रक्चर सिस्टम. नेक्स्ट. इनफैक्ट दिस इज a full day talk in itself. I'm just trying to skip it. Next. ये कैनवस की वो दी हुई यहाँ पे, the canopy is because the heat becomes 41, 42, then this can be stretched and you can still work here. Next. They are stretchable. Next. Next. What a fantastic craft we have in 3D Max. You are going to एरिया ड्राइंग एरिया है, वहाँ पे ब्रिक जाली दी हुई है. नेक्स्ट. Room is just optimal size, 9 feet by 11 नहीं है. So this area is clean. ये नहीं कि यहाँ से निकल रहे हैं, यहाँ से जा रहे हैं, ठोकरें खा रहे हैं, फंस रहे हैं. No, this is clear area. Working area, using area is this clean area. And we have natural ventilation corridors. Next. There is so much I can speak on this. Next. Which I'm talking about. Out of 1,670 balconies in this project. Not one faces each other. एक की balcony की privacy भी violate नहीं होती in 1,670. Next. This is open close better. Next. Next. Now this is when you see from the top. This is how you see. The corridors, the links. Next. 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 Go on. Next. I'll come to part 3 very soon. 10 more minutes. What you're doing is you know what you're doing. ऐसा नहीं है कि बनाने के बाद you feel कि यार यहाँ पे ऐसा हो सकता था या energy is being wasted या किसी चीज़ में सोच नहीं. That thinking element is important. कि जो चीज़ बनाई है you have the total conviction. Start off. This is again best part is again the placement of these rooms is the microclimate works very well here. The natural bricks work very well here. Next, slightly faster going. The structural elements are used to give natural shade and shadow. Morning times में एक तरफ की जो दीवार है will be in shadow, शाम को the other way. So this area is because of the natural shadows created will be slightly cooler. Put it here. It becomes a part of the landscape. This is sustainability. Next. See this, the sciography. It's all recessed. Next. And the harshest area, the southwest, as usual, have the toilets. Colors. What stops us from making the building bright? What stops us from giving a dash of color? Give it. Shed banana hai. It's a simple shed. Factories, this thing it's just a structural thing, something, you know. Next, this is a building for Timex factory, people who make watches, the MNCs, and they're so particular. So the whole design of the Timex building was designed, previous slide please, Monica. Previous slide. The whole concept is derived from the time. It's a Timex factory. So you have to develop. The problem is that our campus has already been designed by John Ray. He was the cousin of Rika who was here. So how do you continue making buildings in a campus? It's a very interesting factor. अगर आज ये campus बना हुआ है और 10 साल बाद कोई बिल्डिंग यहाँ पे बननी है तो कैसी होनी चाहिए? It must have at least some character similarity कि आज ये बिल्डिंग बनी है, कल ऐसी बन जाए, कल को ग्लास की बिल्डिंग बन जाए. Somebody comes with more interesting ideas, gold building बना दे. So innovation is there. It must look as if the building is made today, but it must retain some character. Next. So this is in Chandigarh. Please remember, Chandigarh में public buildings have to be concrete. कोई भी building के ऊपर color नहीं हो सकता. We cannot use glass, etc. in a public building. Unnecessary. So this is the OPD building जहाँ पे 5,000 people come every day. Next. Non-AC building, central courts, and we give some fountains ताकि थोड़ा सा. Next. So child care center. See the structure. Very highly service-oriented building. Hospitals, auditoriums, laboratories, institutes are very difficult types of buildings. The combination of concrete and brick, yet the building must look modern. It must look as if it's made today. Not if we don't have enough information on hospital design. It's a campus. Brick की building है. See the system of structure. Trusses are exposed. It's a school.
This is a genetic research institute which we did in Delhi, in JNU. Very difficult, very. We have to adopt the natural Dholpur stone cladding because it is already there. Auditorium in SGPJ Lucknow, and I don't mean but there is something which is always on your head. Yes. Next. Which is hello. SGPJ. Now see this. Again, like this auditorium, it is columnless. How do you make a roof of a columnless? Go with the north point. Go with orientation. अब ये एक hill था हमारे पास. This is a building designed by my father about 15 years ago. What a magnificent piece of architecture. अगर वो चाहते तो इस hill को काट देते. But the building is designed hostel, office block. हर एक में अपना एक अंदाज है, अपना एक मजा है. This is the IT buildings which we are doing. What a engineering feat it is. It's all concrete. Next. Japanese hostel in Gurgaon. Next. Jammu University के लिए हम लोग we worked for Jammu University. It took us a lot of time and courage to tell them कि इस तरह. The first time we used glass on the staircase. Genetic studies. This building also features in that book, Architectural Ideas. One more last thing before I wind up. A building must look like what it is made for. Auditorium Solan में है, इसलिए the form changes. Next. IT building, the form changes. Next. Use of large glass only in the central lobby, not in the working areas. Next. There it is. Next. Okay. Next. This is a housing tower which is done in association with a Spanish architect, CNP. Dr. Pios is a very famous architect. It's one of the buildings which are Doha. It's a mixed use. Very interesting thing in Doha is mixed use. ये apartments हैं, ये shopping mall है, ये कुछ और है. I mean, they're all mixed in one building itself. Next. Next.
That we wouldn't have spent even hundreds of rupees to go and see the building if it was common and if we were seeing it everywhere. Just because it involves a lot of money and a lot of space and it can't be recreated, therefore we go and watch.
Of creativity, it had that great structural feat. It was an engineering feat, it was an architectural marvel. That's why we see it. I don't think there's an element of money. I don't think money is spent in making pyramids. अगर हम लोग वो बना सकते तो देखने को जाते. There's something more than that, I think. I can be wrong.
And what is subjective? How is it supposed to have a mass appeal?
It is subjective.
But
so you can't make everybody like your work.
yeah.
Half of them will say, what the hell is this? So our profession, the lacuna of architecture profession is, it is subject to scrutiny. Feel is beautiful, and the world will say, yes, it's beautiful. Site, go on to the site. There is a foundation which we run. It's called A3 Foundation. Join that foundation. Join me on Facebook. We have absolutely avenues, and she's here, Kanika, she'll tell you. Interact with me, blog with me. It's a whole organization that we run. So we are there. It's not finished. The communication will continue. Okay?
My pride tenfolds. That was in the morning to be having him as my mentor here in the auditorium, in the college. Now I pass on this legacy to you all students so that you can extract maximum out of him. Do you get me, the students? Now, another thing is, till now I tried my level best in last 8 years in this college to just explain you what is architecture. And today I feel I shouldn't ask this question again. Is it true? Do you know what is architecture now, or it is too less a thing? Architecture is. We'll continue this tradition in times to come. I'll request him again and again to be here in our college, which is going to be a university soon. So we have also taken his help to be the guiding force behind our BBD University School of Architecture. So I request him to kindly say a few words for our future prospects, and then I'll already have extended my thanks to all of you present, our Honorable VC, all senior faculty members present. Unfortunately, the group advisor is very busy, so he's not on stage. But I take this opportunity to sincere everybody, to thank everybody who has made this program possible.
Thank you very much.
Bye. All the best. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Yes.
She missed many books, so she knew the answer and it was not fair.
आने दीजिए पहले वहाँ आने दीजिए